Hey everyone, I want to share something important that might resonate with many of you, and I believe it's worth considering. If you find yourself in a situation where you feel you're constantly pursuing someone who seems emotionally distant, it's crucial to take a moment to reflect on what might be happening beneath the surface. First off, I'm Danielle. There's Nazca with his head out the window. This pursuit may not stem from genuine love, but rather from a deeper desire to validate your own sense of worth. You may think you're chasing after this person because they fulfill emotional need, but often it's really about trying to prove to yourself that you deserve to be chosen and loved. There are common reasons why people end up in relationships like this. Patterns from the past can play a significant role, particularly when our own history has shaped our expectation of what love is. I know for me, growing up in a toxic environment, I always felt like I had to prove my love. Like I always had to, always. And I never ever got that I love you. It was a I like you. And you should know that I love you. When all of my friends were hearing I love you, it was just something I did not hear growing up, and really warped my version of what love is. It's interesting to note how our past experiences affect our present relationships. Sometimes we unknowingly keep seeking out partners who are unable to fill commitment. This can lead to a cycle where you find yourself feeling a sense of comfort in those familiar patterns, even if they're ultimately extremely unhealthy and toxic. In a nuanced way, our bodies and brains can confuse familiarity with genuine love. You may have learned to associate love with certain behaviors, even if those behaviors are not healthy or fulfilling. When someone you care about pulls away, it can create a feeling of emptiness or longing, and that discomfort can be hard to bear. When they eventually return, there's a, oh my gosh, blah, the seatbelt, I'm just gonna take it off. I'm not moving, taking it off, we're good. Discomfort. When they eventually return, there's a fleeting sense of relief that washes over you. I'm guilty of that. But let's pause and think about what that relief signifies. More often than not, it's not true love. It's the physiological rush of dopamine responding to their attention. You might find yourself becoming increasingly hooked on this constant love cycle, where their validation is what keeps drawing you back in. Here's where things can get tricky. If your feelings are rooted in fear, then it's essential to understand that they may not reflect authentic love. Instead, they could represent a longing for emotional safety that hasn't yet been fulfilled from childhood, adolescent, into adulthood. If part of you is constantly anxious about the stability of the relationship, it can be a sign that something else is at play. You may want to reflect on the reasons you're attracted to this dynamic in the first place. Why do you like this toxic cycle? It's time to face the hard truth. Love should not carry the weight of fear or insecurities. Real love invites openness and kindness rather than anxiety and withdrawal. You should never ever feel that you have to jump through hoops just to earn someone's attention or affection, or compete for it through family members or friends. If you must chase after someone who's not openly reciprocating your feelings, it might indicate that your heart is still tied to an old belief that love is something you need to prove you deserve. This cycle of thinking can be broken. It really can. It takes a lot of wanting to break the cycle. Therapy, daily prayer for me. Realizing this is a crucial step towards healing. It's about understanding that love should come with encouragement, trust, and an empowered sense of self-worth. Taking the time to nurture your own self-esteem, independent of someone else's validation, can transform how you perceive love and relationships. That is so, so true. Now, self-reflection is key here. All right, I'll say it again for the people that didn't hear that. Self-reflection is key here. Ask yourself 2 things to ask yourself. 1, what are your core beliefs about love? And 2, do you feel you need to earn it, or do you believe that love is inherently part of your worth as a person? Taking a good look at these questions can lead you towards understanding why you might find yourself in these types of relationships repeatedly. Additionally, part of this journey involves recognizing your emotional triggers and understanding the mechanisms of attachment. Our brains often latch onto feelings and experiences that seem safe and familiar, even if they're not healthy. Acknowledging this pattern can help you break free from the cycle of seeking validation and instead learn to nurture a sense of self that is grounded and secure. If you don't love yourself, how can anybody else love you? I know I've said that in a few of my videos, and I will tell you on a personal level, if you don't love yourself, no one's going to love you, and your personal life is going to be miserable, and nobody's going to be around you. They just won't. It's perfectly natural to want validation and connection. These are human needs, but it's essential to strike a balance between seeking connection and maintaining a strong sense of self-worth. The moment you start valuing yourself independently of anyone else's love, you begin to shift the dynamics in your life and relationship. It's crazy. It's totally true. So if you are in this position of pursuing someone who keeps you at arm's length, I encourage you to pause and reflect. Let's reflect. It's an opportunity to move forward towards a healthier sense of self and perspective on love. Remember, true love is not something you have to chase or earn. I'm going to say that again. True love is not something you have to chase or earn. If this is something as a child you did with your parents, you probably attract not healthy relationships as an adult. And yeah, I'm sorry about that. It can be fixed. It can be changed. Your mind you can reset the way you think. Remember, true love is not something you have to chase or earn. It's something that flows naturally when both people are on the same page. Focus on building a relationship with yourself first and foremost, and watch as the connections that you form become more authentic and fulfilling. Maybe not like a loving, intimate relationship, but even with friends. When you learn to love yourself and just be okay with yourself, magical things happen. In closing, I hope this message hits home for anyone who finds himself caught in a cycle of chasing after love that feels out of reach. It's time to shift that focus back to you and your own self-worth, your own existing worth, because you deserve love that is freely given and reciprocated. Let's take the first step together towards understanding and nurturing love in a more healthier form. Has anybody gone through what I'm talking about? Hopefully I'm just not babbling about my own personal problems. And I'm Danielle. Nazca's back there. I don't remember if I said that or not. But yeah. Healing's possible. Healing is possible. I'll talk to you guys later.